executive producer, Dante DiLoretto. Co-creator and executive producer, Ian Brennan. And the cast, Diana Agron. Cory, Monteith. Michele. Matthew Morrison. So the first question obviously has to be about Push It. I need to know, I need for you guys to take me back to when you discovered you were going to do it, your reaction, how'd it go?
Cool. You know, I'm trying to say one thing. Really, before we do anything, really lucky enough to have the studio and the network here who were fearless enough to put this show on the air. And we just have to thank Kevin and Dana and Matt so much for giving us the opportunity to do something like this, because it's a little different than what else is on television. So thank you guys.
So push it.
Push about it.
Push it. I think the first feedback we got when we were trying to put the dance number together was from Ryan, and he said, it needs to be more offensive. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it was so much fun to do. Reading the script, I didn't think we would be as offensive as it was, but we had a lot of fun doing it. A lot of fun.
And for Matthew, same question, but for Kanye and Gold Digger.
Well, I guess for me it was a stretch. You know, I grew up singing and dancing and doing mostly Broadway stuff, but I was so excited to kind of flex my rapping on the microphone muscles, you know. It was fun, and I actually, I'm going to be rapping in a couple other episodes as well.
So the show's like nothing else on television. I'm curious, for the producers, where did the idea come from?
It actually originated as a screenplay that I actually written in 2005, that then about a year and a half ago landed very randomly in Ryan Murphy's lap, and he was like, hey, I think this would make a good TV show. And then he pitched it. We totally reworked it. Ryan, Brad, and I pitched it to the network, who were like, great. And we were like, this shouldn't be like High School Musical. And they're like, yep. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, and so over the course of maybe 18 months, it's gone from, it was just 3 people sitting in a room trying to conceive of it, and now we're here. So a very fast thing. I was in Glee Club in high school and never, that's right, except I'm pissed about it. Never really forgave myself for it, and it was just something that I realized that, like, God, nobody's ever written about this, and it's so right. It's funny and touching and weird and awesome and heartwarming, all those things put together, and no one had ever really done anything about it. And so I had kind of thought to myself, like, God, someone's got to write something about this, and if it's not me, I'm going to be angry. Anyway, and here we are.
All right.
And obviously the cast is very talented. They have to act and sing and dance. I'm wondering if you guys could tell us a little bit about your auditions.
Oh, what, I get to answer that question first?
Yeah.
Okay, my audition was, I'd never sung before for an audition, and so I had no idea how to do that. And so I basically showed up, and I was singing, what did I sing the first time? I sang Billy Joel, Honesty was the song that I sang for audition. I knew that was going to happen. No, I can't sing it here, but
Should we make him?
I have a cold. I can't sing it. I sing on the show, though. You can watch it. But no, originally when I sent a tape to Ryan Murphy to casting, I didn't consider myself a singer because I'd never sung in anything before. So I just conveniently left out the singing part of the audition.
He played drums in his audition tape. He drummed as if that was the singing. That was good. It was a musical.
Because I was like, I'm not going to get this job. There's no way. So I'm going to show them me playing the drums on Tupperware with unsharpened pencils. And that was good. And so I heard back that they wanted me to actually sing and send a tape of that. So I sent myself singing REO Speedwagon. And yeah, I don't know, that led to a test. And the test went well. And I found out 20 minutes after I left Fox that I got a job. So I was like, sweet.
I'm from New York, done music. And I come from a musical theater background. Actually, I've known Matt for a couple of years, having both been in Broadway shows. And I came to LA. Glee was one of the first auditions I went on. I fell in love with the script, and I fell in love with the character. I went in for my audition, and little did I know, throughout my audition I was doing a lot of things that were very Rachel Berry. Like the piano player messed up the song, and I was like, that's the wrong part of the song, you're messing it up. And at one point I had to do a fake slap, and I actually slapped the reader. And everybody was laughing at me, and it was just, I thought it was terrible. And then I got called back for a studio network test, and I sang 2 songs, both musical theater songs. And
you crashed your car.
And I did crash my car. I had a little Mini Cooper in the time, and pulling into the Fox lot for my studio call, I think it was, I had a full-on collision with the van. It was totally their fault. And then I just left my crashed car in the middle of Pico, and took a golf cart up and had glass and little cuts on me, and was like, came in and they thought I was making it up to get sympathy. That's my story.
I was actually, ladies first, go ahead, sorry.
I was the last person cast, so that was really stressful because it happened really quick, which also was good in a way because I didn't have to think about it so much. But I went in for the casting director on a Wednesday. He called me back on a Friday. I was told to straighten my hair because my hair was curly. And they said absolutely not, and they said to wear something different as well. So I was nervous, and I got over there, and I had to buy a straightener because my hair happened to be curly that day, and it was very last minute. I was in a Starbucks bathroom straightening my hair. And so that was great. I sang Fly Me to the Moon, because for some reason that's my go-to song. I obviously don't sing it as low as Frank Sinatra does. Or as well. But, and then they told me that I would be testing on Monday, and I showed up to the Fox office, and I was so nervous, and I was in the parking lot. I showed up an hour early, and I was doing my warm-ups, and I went up a little bit early, and I left my phone in the car, and I went to the floor I was supposed to be going to, and nobody was in the office, and I tested once before for a show, so I thought it was this weird practical joke, and that I didn't pay attention, and I went to the wrong floor. And finally I found, who's now my friend Stephanie, and she was like, oh no, you're supposed to be over here. I signed my paperwork. And Sharon Klein came out and said, is her paperwork signed? I said, yes. And she says, fantastic, you start work in 2 days. And I screamed at her. I thought it was a lie. It's rare. And I hadn't met anybody. I hadn't met Ryan or Dante or Ian.